Welcome back, guys. This is volume 5 part 2. This is a continuation of volume 5 part 1. This scenario was the loophole that I was able to use to go and see this man. So because of course I am now saved, right, and I'm going to church, what I would do is I would go to church and leave church, and the man would come to pick me up from church, and then I would go to his house to do what we're doing. And I would do this every Sunday. So I made it a point of duty Sundays to go to church. Mind you, there was nobody at the church that knew me or anything, apart from obviously I got saved, the pastor knows me. But again, because there's lots of people in the church, you know, you don't really have to go and say hello. You just go in, sit down at the back, and I would ensure that I sit at the back. Of course, my brother and my cousins, they too would go to church. I wait for them to go first, and then I would go behind them. So this way, it would, you know, they would not see me going into a vehicle, or they won't see me when I'm leaving the church. So I'll ensure they go first before me, that they would sit in a particular area of the church that I can watch them, and then I would sit at the very back of the church so that I could sneak out of the church to go and meet up with this man. And this is what I was doing for a good length amount of time without being caught. So this was going on for months now. Yes. So now what stopped me from talking to this man was the fact that after 2 or 3 months of me and him being in a relationship and doing our thing, and his family, again, because I was going to his house on a regular basis, his family started to know me and started to get acquainted with me, everything like proper. I was in a proper relationship with this grown man at the age of 13. Like, I kid you not, to the point where, of course, the way I was going to school, he was not running that taxi route. He was running a different taxi route on the other side of Christiana. So going towards Trelawney or Silent Hill, all those other areas of Christiana. Whereas I was going on the opposite side. But what he would do, he would ensure that he came, dropped me to school, pick me up from school before, and then obviously whilst I'm in school, he can run his errands and do what he's doing as a taxi driver. And then he would ensure that he come, pick me up or drop me off. And then Sundays was for me and him, you know? So anyways, what made me and him stop talking now after 2 or 3 months of us being in a deep relationship? So myself and my guardian, we went up into the town. And when we went up into the town, I literally saw his sister in one of the places that sells hair products. So I was going in to buy styling gel, because I use styling gel or styling gel to do my hair. So went in there with my aunt, and then his sister came up to me. Oh, hi, Shay. And I was there blinking at this woman, like giving her the you know, the wink, like I'm trying to give her a hint, like, what are you doing? Like, what? Don't call me. Like, I got in this panic attack mood because what? No. And then instantly my aunt started looking at me, like my aunt looked around on me quickly. And then I had to like compose myself. But she kind of saw when I was like, but what I did, I tried to style it off like I was doing like, who are you? The lady recognized what was going on. Good thing. And then she literally changed the subject. And then when she changed the subject, my heart mellowed down. Yes. And then the next day I decided, nope, I'm going to break up with this man. Again, he did not do me anything, but because of that near event, because come on, like, you know. So remember I told you guys that I was breaking hearts unknowingly. So this is one of the scenario where I was breaking heart unknowingly, and I was breaking his heart, and I did not know that I was breaking this man's heart, or I had broken this man's heart until like years after he told me. But yeah, anyway, so remember I mentioned in volume 5 part 1 about me now moving back to my garden into the heart of Christiana, Manchester, Jamaica. And the guy that had sexually molested me, who was connected to my guardian at the time, they're no longer together. He had started sexually molesting me from the age of 6 onwards. This guy had moved in to this new location that we were living in the heart of Christiana. And then obviously I had now moved from my dad, so now I'm living there now. So of course this all started back again, the molestation and everything. You will see how things progressed deeper. Whilst I was seeing the other men that I was dating at the time, he too was involved in my life. So this man that was now living in the household that I was living in at my guardian, he too was involved heavily with me. And you will see that as I go forward. So what would happen with this man every time when I go home? So of course, the times when I go home, this is the times he will have his moments with me. But I am now sexually active. At the time when he was molesting me, I was not active. I was not sexually active. He was just fiddling with me. But now I'm sexually active. So things somewhat progressed as it relates to him. And then of course I had my other men that I was dating at the time, after I broke up with the taxi driver because his sister almost let me got caught in the place when I went with my guardian. Now I had moved on to someone else, and then this man that was living in the household, he too was involved with me. So what would happen when I finished school, I would now come home and he would literally come into my room at night. So he always does this at nighttime. So it was when my guardian and everyone else was sleeping, he would come into my room and he would start touching me up, and then it progressed into orals. So he started performing oral sex on me. Yes. So this was the start of the oral sex with me. And this was the first time I was going to experience orals in any form of way, shape or form. This was now at the age of 13. I now felt what oral sex was, and he continuously do it every night or every other night, because it now became a thing. But because I was never attracted to him, I was never ever attracted to him. I've never had any form of likings towards him because he was never my type. No, he was never. However, he brought something different, which was the oral. So what happened is he did not sexually penetrate me. No, because I was not attracted to him, so I didn't want him to, insert anything inside of me. What I allowed him to do was to perform oral sex on me. Yes. And of course he got a bit upset about it and was really annoyed about the fact that I'm not allowing him to do that other aspect. It's just one aspect, which was the oral. He started to get antsy, and then I said to him, well, you either take it or leave it, because that's it. I'm not doing anything else with you. And I started to treat him like that, so to the point where like I would boss him around in that sense. Remember I was telling you about this, the taxi man that I broke up with because of his sister. Yeah, because I broke up with him so abruptly. He couldn't understand, and he started wondering why. He wanted an explanation, but I kept hiding from him. So every time I would see him in Christiana Town, I would hide quickly because I didn't want to have any conversation with him. I just wanted to go about my business, and then after a time, I didn't see him after a little while. I don't know where he had went or whatever, but yeah, I met this other guy who was working for the bank. So he was working at the bank and he would drive the Brinks truck. So I'm gonna insert it. The Brinks truck in Jamaica is where those trucks would go around to collect money from different companies or business places and bring it to the bank. Yeah, so he was one of the drivers of the Brinks trucks, and they have their big machine guns and everything. Yeah, so I was dating him for approximately 2 weeks. Yes, I remember one night I sneaked out of the house whilst everyone was sleeping. I sneaked out of the house. So what I done is I used my suitcases, put it on the bed, and then cover it with the pillow, because my guardian, she had this thing where she would just walk around the house at night, like some random hours of night, like early mornings around 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning, just to see, that everything is okay. So she would just walk around randomly. And sometimes I could hear her, or other times, obviously, I'm in my deep sleep, so I don't hear her. But other times when I hear her, I know that she's just walking around to check if everyone is good or if the place is intact. I don't know. Whatever she was walking around to search for. Anyways, my room was close to where the outside door was, so it was easy for me to sneak in and out. As I sneaked out, I was worried, I was pondering, I was panicking, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's nighttime, one, and two, I'm supposed to be in bed, right? And I am 13 years old. Yes. So this man came to pick me up, as I said, and we went to this hotel, and it was close by Homewood Technical High. Anyone who went to Christiana or lived in Christiana would know Homewood Technical High. So there was a hotel that was on the next side. It was like more like a guest house kind of thing, right? Anyways, so I went there with this guy, and he paid for the room and everything, and we were in the room, but we did not manage to have any sexual intercourse. Reason being, I was in panic mode because I was worried, I was flustered, and he could tell. And he was getting a bit annoyed of the fact that I was being so flustered and agitated and, not settled. So it caused him to be unsettled too. So he was like, do you want us to go? And I was like, yes, because mind you, this was now half an hour of me leaving the house. So this was now half an hour. So I'm thinking, oh my days, if anything, my guardian had probably woken up now and saw that I'm not in the bed, and probably, as I go into the house, probably looking, where are you coming from, as soon as I stepped through the door. So all these things was going through my head. So we never had sex ever. So again, I was dating this Brinks truck guy for 2 weeks. We never had sex. We never do anything. We just only talk. But then I realized that this man was very arrogant. So he started to talk to me in a way that was very rude and boisterous and very rough. Stay tuned for volume 5, part 3. Thank you.